Welcome to Greatest Scene Ever for our fourth episode dealing with troubled cops. I'm Kylos and this guy's Greg. We're two professors at American University inviting you to take a look at some great films with us.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, so today we're going to continue looking at films with troubled cops. We love to see characters in conflict, and these guys are running into it from all directions, as though being a lawman wasn't difficult enough.
Our clip for today comes from a 1971 film whose main character perhaps became a bigger icon in popular culture than the film itself. A cop gone rogue for all the right reasons. Dirty Harry stars Clint Eastwood and the most powerful handgun in the world. And Greg, I think you should ask yourself, you feel lucky?
Well, do you, punk?
So let's take a look at Dirty Harry.
Send Inspector Callahan in. Callahan.
Mr. Mayor, Inspector Callahan.
All right. Let's have it.
Have what?
The report. What have you been doing?
Oh, well, for the past 3/4 of an hour, I've been sitting on my ass in your outer office, waiting on you.
Damn it all, Harry. That's the mayor you're talking to.
Won't you sit down, Inspector Callahan? There's a madman loose. I've asked you what's being done. Fair enough?
We've got a dozen men checking identification files. We're checking on all known extortionists, rooftop prowlers, rifle nuts, peepers.
Mr. Mayor, we've arranged for rooftop surveillance and helicopter patrols, especially around the Catholic churches and schools and in the black area.
Ballistics is checking on the slug. We're pretty sure it's a 30-06. 7 lands and grooves, right-hand twist.
Sir, we're running a computer check on everybody in the files whose birthday falls between October 23rd and November the 21st.
Why?
Natives of Scorpio.
Thank you, Inspector. Did any of you mention this note to anyone? How about you?
Nobody?
Your wife, sweetheart, press?
Nobody.
All right. Give the message to the Chronicle. We'll agree to pay. We'll tell them we need time to get the money together.
Wait a minute, do I get this right? You're gonna play this creeps game?
It'll get us some more breathing space.
So it might get somebody killed. But you let me meet with the son of a bitch.
None of that. You'd end up with a real bloodbath.
I agree with the chief. We'll do it this way, all right?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Come on, Callahan, let's go.
Callahan,
Sir?
I don't want any more trouble like you had last year in the Fillmore district. Understand? That's my policy.
Yeah, well, when an adult male is chasing a female with intent to commit rape, I shoot the bastard. That's my policy.
Intent? How did you establish that?
Well, when a naked man is chasing a woman through an alley with a butcher knife and a heart on, I figure he isn't out collecting for the Red Cross.
That is so iconic. That's so lovely. Okay, so first of all, I got to set to, put to bed this whole punk thing, this whole line. The line is often misquoted as, "Do you feel lucky, punk?" Actually, the line is, he's talking to the guy, he's got the gun pointed at him, and he says, "You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?" And he sneers at punk at the end. The line itself, an iconic line, was voted number 51 in the AFI top lines out of 100 of the most iconic film lines. And actually, the other interesting thing about that scene, but not this scene we just saw, but the "Do You Feel Lucky, Punk" scene, and we showed a different scene for a different reason, which I'll talk about in a second. But the punk scene itself was one of the few scenes that was actually shot on a set. Most of the film was actually shot on location in San Francisco.
Right.
So this is one of the, because they wanted to get, they knew that line was going to become iconic. They knew the power of that scene, "Do You Feel Lucky, Punk" scene. So they wanted to have the control of shooting it on a set, which is why they shot it on a set. So anyway, so there you are.
Actually, I feel like mentioning that line, and this is a credit again to the character and the actor, that I feel like when I think back on this film, I often forget that he's even dealing with a serial killer, or that, you know, I just remember Dirty Harry being a badass and going rogue. I almost don't even remember that, you know, he's the righteous person in the movie, that, you know, we've got a killer who's loosely based on the Zodiac killer.
Right, his name in the movie is Scorpio. So we go
That's
from
right. So
Serpico to Scorpio. Okay.
So, and you know, it's sort of a thinly veiled reference too, that it's sort of based on the Zodiac killer.
Absolutely.
And that you know, Dirty Harry is he's gone sort of rogue and vigilante, but he's done it for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
And his troubles aren't even whether or not it's a corrupt society around him. It's just that he can't get to justice because the way the system's set up.
Correct.
And he doesn't want to let these horrible things happen anymore to anybody. So it's kind of a little bit, I think I enjoy that about him, because he's not really trying to struggle with, you know, we've got some cliches, and not to say that they aren't great sometimes, but
you think?
You know, he's not trying, you know, there's no bribes. It's not like,
Right, we don't, that's true.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like he can't take this guy down because of the way that justice system is set up.
Right, so
in this particular
there are
moment.
two things going on,
Yeah.
the troubled inner demons here. One is his fight against the system, which is too complex, and you know, it's I want to get, as you say, get to justice, but the system gets in the way. And the other issue here is his inner demon and his ability, Callahan's inability to deal with authority, to have people tell him what to do, and he hates that. He wants to be able to, you know, go out and do his own thing, and as you say, go rogue, because he thinks of himself as smarter than everybody else in the room.
Right.
As you know, don't we all at some point in our lives, you know, we all think, well, my boss is not as smart as I am, or if they would only understand, they'd pay me more money or something like that.
Yeah.
So that is what speaks to us as viewers. It's what speaks to the audience as viewers, is that whole idea of I'm smarter than my boss. That's really where this comes from. That's the troubled cop element of it, but that is an essential element of the Dirty Harry character. And it's what made it such a successful franchise, spawning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 total, and there were 5 sequels.
Oh, okay.
And I'll run through them real quickly. I'm sorry, you're right. There are 5 total.
I'm looking at your notes here.
Dirty Harry in 71, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and The Deadpool. So it basically ran the gamut and was such a successful franchise. And I would postulate that it was a successful franchise because of the way that character speaks to us as individuals, which is we all have somewhat of a problem with authority because we all kind of think we're smarter than our boss. Some of us do, some of us don't. But it is a natural human reaction.
Right. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be the figure of authority at the moment and decide that we're out of time.
Indeed.
So check out our other episodes on Troubled Cops. This is all the time we have for today.
Okay, and the thing about these films is check out the entire episodes and the entire films when you watch them, because they're always better in context.
And we'll see you next time on Greatest Scene Ever.
Hug.